We're good.
We're up. All right. Well, welcome everybody to graduation of the Vincennes University Amazon Mechatronics, Robotics, and Automation Apprenticeship Program. Graduation cohort number 64. My name is Dave Tucker. I'm Vice President for Workforce Development and Community Services here at VU, and I have the distinct pleasure of serving as the Master of Ceremonies today. I have been with VU for now 18 years, and I've been with the Amazon program since it was originally conceived about 6 years ago. We've been running this program since October of 2019. We started it up on the west side of Indianapolis in Plainfield. We moved it here to campus in May of 2020 in the middle of a pandemic, and we've been running it continuously since then. It's a real, it's a real tribute to the commitment of my colleagues here at the university, our partners at Amazon and the third parties, and all of you that we were able to get this program up and running and run it continuously to this point to now where we're graduating the 64th cohort out of this program. I think I told you when I met you, 12 or maybe 11 weeks ago, just when you were getting started, that we knew we could get you through. We'd already done 1,100 MRAs before we got to you, and I think you all learned that and had some confidence, and then you continue to get into the program and thought, uh-oh, maybe not. But here we are at the end of this program, and everybody here is graduating. Everybody here has completed all their credit hours for the program. Everybody's completed all your SOCA certifications. And this is a very hard program. It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness by each individual. It takes a lot of teamwork to get this thing done, and it takes a really dedicated group of instructors to get everybody through. But my goal every time we start a class, sure, I want to see people score 90s on their SOCA tests and be high flyers here and there, and be on their way to being systems engineers and things like that. But what I really want is for everybody who enters this program to complete it successfully. And here we are, another class, 100% success, and that's really great. So thanks again for everybody being here. Would like to, for the folks who, number one, thank everybody who's logged on online to tune in today, family and friends. How many people do we have out there?
32.
32. So welcome family, friends, and leadership out in the various FCs who tune into this. We thank you for the support that you've given throughout this program. We've also got some guests here today in the audience. And if you wouldn't mind, those of you who have guests, stand up, introduce yourself, and then introduce your guest and how they're related to you or what brings them here. Yeah, I'll start with you.
Brody Cook. This is my fiance, Cassandra Watson. Been with me. I don't know how I got through the program. So.
Almost in Michigan. So does that mean still in Indiana?
Yes.
Up near, is that Fort Wayne or even north of there? What's that?
Just south of South Bend.
Oh yeah, Plymouth. Okay, well great. We're glad to have you in town. Thanks for your support throughout this. How about you?
My name is Harold Watkins, and I have my lovely wife, Alana Watkins, with me.
Avon, Indiana. West side is the best side, right? Yeah, so great. We're glad you're here. Thank you for making the trip. Really appreciate it. How about here in the back row?
Eric Ottinger. I have my lovely wife, Angela Ottinger. Her mother, Leanne Croy. And then my parents, Jim and Brenda Ottinger.
Woo!
Indianapolis is where we're all originated from, and I could have been here without any of them.
All right.
So,
Thank you. Yeah. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for making the trip. This group, this class represents 6 different states across the United States. We've got a number of people from Indiana. It's especially important to VU, the Indiana connection, because we're one of the 7 state-supported Indiana universities. And if you pay attention to the news, colleges and universities don't really get the best rap right now. The complaints on college are serious, and they're also legitimate. College costs a lot of money, and a lot of people either graduate or they don't even graduate with a bunch of debt from college. Colleges don't graduate people with degrees that are useful. And you hear, all these stories about, Russian literature master's graduates who are baristas in local coffee shops and things like that. And that's a legitimate concern too. The thing that we pride ourselves on here at VU, and the thing that I particularly pride myself on, and our team prides ourselves on in this program, is that that's the complete opposite of the bad rap on college. Every one of you are coming out of this program with no debt. Every one of you are coming out of this program with a job in a field that has a tremendously bright and unlimited future. Every one of you were getting paid while you were here in school. Right? So when I look at programs, when I look at the bad rap that college gets, any chance I get a chance to chime in, and any chance the president of Vincennes University, Chuck Johnson, gets to chime in, we say, now wait a second, take a look at this program that we run with Amazon. We are so proud to get to run this program. It's so unlike the programs that various people speak poorly about colleges and universities, and you're a part of that. The other really important thing about you as a group is that you are about the average age, when you say 33 years old. The average age of our Amazon apprentices throughout the time we've been doing it has been about 26. And the average age of the typical VU student here on campus is about 19 and a half or 20 years old. So this is, this represents, you represent a very different age demographic, but also a very important one, because you've lived some life. You figured out what works and what doesn't work for you. And here you are, signing up for a program, putting your life on hold. When you're 33 years old or thereabouts, I know all of you got lots of responsibilities. You got a lot of things going on in your life. And it's not easy to make that sacrifice. If the choice, if you're 19 years old, and the only obligation that you have is to still, feed the dog back at mom and dad's house, that's a whole different set of responsibilities than being 33, and having kids, and having a significant other, and paying rent, and paying car payments, and doing all those kinds of things. Not nearly as easy to put your life on hold to come to VU. And so I very much know that and very much appreciate it, and hope that we've given you now the step that it took to get you on to this great career in automation. I know that today's probably too early to be talking to you about continuing your training and education, but I do want you to keep that in the back of your mind. For you to continue to be successful, you continue to go get training on the job, professional development, and if you are interested in pursuing a degree, continuing on with Vincennes University. And Rochelle, who's a great resource here for us, can help you with that. But you can use your, if you're a blue badge with Amazon, you can use your career choice benefits. You can take up to $5,200 worth of classes every year. It's a very simple way to continue on, and you can do it all online. So you won't have the benefit of the library to go to study, or as it's also known, Cutter's Way, to do your homework. But you will be able to. But you'll be able to do it online, and you'll be very successful. So, want you to please keep that in mind. No graduation in our minds is complete without hearing from the class, and so Cohort 64's speaker is Harold Watkins. I can invite Harold.
I pulled that number up, by the way. It'd probably be 27 if I wasn't here. So first, giving honor to my heavenly Father, my beautiful wife, Vice President here, and all the staff. Thank you for being here today. And I just start off with a little brief history. So I wrote this like 2 o'clock in the morning, like not being able to sleep. I'm like, what am I going to say? So when I first moved to Indiana, I had aspirations of becoming a stenographer. Right? Unfortunately, Ivy Tech didn't offer that program near me, and I would have to travel in and out of town like for classes. It takes about an hour. So I applied at several different Amazons, and the first one to call me back was N2. So when I first started, I hated it. I hated working in warehouses. I was like, this is not my area. You know, I didn't come from this background. You know, I want to be working in the warehouse. And I used to tell my wife, I was like, I hate this job. I hate it. Hung in there, I stuck in there, started applying for other positions, trying to move around in there to get something that I felt fit me. And I became an ambassador, which I figured I helped the person that I was training more than it did me, because there was no pay increase. It was just me teaching, but I enjoyed it. And then looking back over the time, I can say Amazon has truly been good to me. They sent me to Kansas City on an away team where I helped launch the building called FO1, FOE1. I also did a seasonal job share at a different building where I met our classmate Eric and his wife. I did everything in my power not to have to go back to that building. So I applied for like loss prevention, I applied for R&B, nothing. So here I was back in that building, and then went to the mechatronics program online for like 6 months. And when I finished, I felt like I learned absolutely nothing. So I applied for a pharmacy tech position at Amazon Pill Pack that became available. I went through those programs, and I was hired on to there, which is where I was 2 years prior to coming into this apprenticeship program. And when this opened up, I jumped on it. But I had to get the approval from my boss. I mean, my wife. So we weighed it out, and she was like, it's an opportunity for you to further your career. So she gave me to go ahead. She made the sacrifice for those 12 weeks being home by herself and stuff. So thank you. And then I can say, although I really did hate working for it, it led me here to Vincennes, to you guys. Sorry about that, y'all. This thing jumping around and stuff. So it led me here where I met these great people that I've had the privilege to share these 12 weeks with. And on March 18, we started the journey together, knowing that it was not knowing what it was going to be, actually. We didn't know if we were going to get along. We didn't know if we were gonna have good instructors. Sorry. And especially after going through these conference calls with this little energetic man named Brandon. Not Renee. Brandon. Well, I never thought that I would work with such a diverse group of people in the state of Indiana. So I worked with people from several different countries and formed relationships with them, and this room is no different. The first two people I met was Pedro and Brian, who later revealed that Pedro knew before we even flew here that he and I were going to be friends. So what's that lottery number, Pedro?
64.
And then, this is what y'all do with the weed? Then we had this crazy reading and math assessment. Y'all remember that? But we were introduced, where I was introduced to Maria. Because she and I were the last two people in there. After the time ran out of us. And after our first day of orientation, we were placed in alphabetical order, which put me next to this crazy guy that I could never seem to get rid of. Man. And I found out that he loves fried chicken and watermelon more than Then I met this guy who overcame great obstacles and defied all odds to be sitting in this room with us today. Greg, proud of you. And I looked up and saw this guy that I recognized from the building where we worked together. So I looked at him, I said, "Don't I know you?" And he was like, "Yeah, we worked at Penn One together. I'm married to Angela now." I said, "The PA who loves Roddy Rich, and every time the song came on, she'd not be walking around the warehouse talking about So I also met a great guy named Anthony, AKA Ross, from South Dakota, who ended up being our personal trainer. We went to the gym, our lead investigator in the escape rooms, and a really cool friend who tried to get me high on nicotine. Then I met Delia and Amy, two great young mothers. Well, at least one of them is young. I'm
still young.
Who made the sacrifice of leaving their children to take this opportunity to better their careers. I also met some great family men in addition to Brian and Anthony, some who even have infants, Ephraim, Robert, and Ruble, who traveled over 4 hours home every weekend to be with his family, and did not want to go to Ponderosa because he knew that was his girl's favorite place, and he would not go unless she was with him or he had her permission. I understand. And I met another man of faith in Dylan, whom I really didn't get to know all that well, but the little interactions that we had, I saw that he was a great young man. Then there's Zach Attack, who I've concluded is not a morning person. Not because he's grumpy or mean, just getting out of bed in the morning was a struggle. Another young man I met who overcame great odds to be sitting with us today is my buddy Ralph, who I thought was going to have an all-out war with Brian, who had the best soccer team. And finally, there's our young crew, Finney, AKA Fish, just getting out of high school. And we got Cody, just getting out of college, who challenged everything with, well, technically, golfers and Brooks, Bosch, everything, who I expect someday will be CEOs or CFOs somewhere, which brings me to Janine. who was like, I know who I'm gonna attach myself to. Last week, there's Max, AKA Silent Dynamite. We couldn't get him to speak a lot, we couldn't get him to crack a smile, but he came out of his shell and we found that he's really not that quiet. So class, we made it, and we've had great instructors who helped us through tough times. And we came together and we needed each other to make sure no one was left behind. I've never worked with such a great group of people, and I will never forget this time that we've gotten to know each other, nor this experience that we shared together over these 12 weeks. Let's keep in touch. Let's plan to meet up again. FFL, Friends for Life. And to the teachers and staff, there may have been some great cohorts before, but there'll never be another Cohort 64!
Another turning point, the fork stuck in the road. So like the best of these days goes by. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. Something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and get on and show your good on that good time. Take to some memories and then skin on time. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but if the end is right. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right.
Well, that was great. Harold, thanks again. Possibly the best Amazon speech ever. So it's very, very heartfelt and very, yeah. That was great, and great video too. So thanks again. Who put that together?
Delia.
Great job. We are going to take some pictures today when we pass out the certificate. So Rochelle will take some photos, and they'll go up on Chime probably this afternoon or tomorrow sometime. So look for those as well. But great job on the speech and the video. As I said earlier, we couldn't do this without the great employer partners that we have on this program. We started it doing it one way. It was going to be it was literally going to be a 2-year apprenticeship with education and on-the-job training, all that stuff going together. That was the original concept of it. Amazon recognized pretty early on, and we did too, that they had a need for a lot more techs in a lot shorter time. So we condensed this thing down to 12 weeks. One of the people who's been involved in this thing since about the beginning is Reedy Monsivice, who supported the program in the Indy area from kind of the start, or pretty much the start, right?
The start.
Yeah, the start. In fact, we were Indy 9 together, weren't we? For the start of the program back in the fall of 2019. So we've had a long, very successful run. We thank Amazon, we thank the third parties, CBRE, CWS, and JLL, who some of you are also employed by, and want to invite Reedy up to say a few words. Reedy Monsivice.
We will make this short and sweet to get to the goods of getting the certificates to you all. I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for embracing the program. Thank you for embracing each other. I'm sure it wasn't easy all the time. I'm sure you didn't get along with each other all the time. I know you didn't get along with me all the time. But that's what life is, right? That's what working at Amazon is. I think we talked about it at the beginning. You will be challenged. And it's not for everyone, and it's not easy, but you can walk out of here with an S on your chest, knowing that you've accomplished something big. And you've done it not only for yourselves, but for your loved ones around you as well. So thank you for having strong ownership, leadership principle, on your development, by traction with feedback, both to me and to the program and to each other. But I can't leave you without more challenges, right? So as you move into your OJL portion, be right a lot when it comes to safety. Don't compromise it. Pull the stopboard if you see that it needs to happen. Earn trust with your professionals and with your customers, your internal customers. For those of you that were hourly roles, you know what it felt like to call an RME who was very supportive, or one that just says, move, and gets to work. Be that person that you want to work with. Yes? Think big, not just for your career, but for personal. Think big, shoot for the stars. This is the springboard for whatever you want to go to next. Hit OJL hard, hit it safely, enjoy the rest of this time. Congratulations, and thank you all very, very much.
Thank you very much, Reedy. Our best advocates for the next cohorts of students who will come into this program are all of you. I can preach what a great program it is, and I just look like a salesperson. Reedy, to a certain extent, is the same boat, right? His job's to go recruit people, and they can hear what he has to say, but he's really looking to recruit and get people in. Same way with the recruiters from Amazon and the third party. The people who make the difference and who comes to this program are all you graduates. Be honest with people in the FCs about how much work it is and how hard it is, because we want the people that we recruit in here to be successful. But we know you know what it takes. And if you see people out that you work with who might be appropriate to come to this program, and you feel positively about it, recruit them to come in. And encourage them to come to VU. They got some choices. We'd like for them to come here to VU. So thanks again, Reedy, for your words and for all your support. The instructors that we have in this program, I just love to death. Jerry Ruble, who directs this program, he was industrial maintenance trainer #1 that I got to start with back. How many years ago now, Jerry? 13 years ago. And Jerry's done a great job of ushering this program through. And then several years ago, we had a crotchety old faculty member over at the College of Technology who was looking for something else to do. And we hired him to work part-time. His name's Mike Birch. He's not here today. But then there's another guy who certainly doesn't fit that mold, does he? Crotchety or old?
Well, not the problem.
Okay. But then also out of the College of Technology, we were able to recruit Brett McCandless to come over here came over here originally on a part-time role, and then became full-time leader of the program. And it's really Brett's job to make sure that he gets everybody through and successful. And Brett has 30 years of experience teaching, 20 years in experience. Same way with Jerry. So it's great to have really great leadership in this program. We got great help on the clerical side and the program side in Rochelle. So thank you, Rochelle, for everything that you do. And then we got these instructors. And I was really glad to see some photos and a cheer go up for Stephen Corey. Stephen came to us several years ago. He worked in industry for a good long while and was looking for something to do in this area. He was a great addition to our team, and I congratulate him on reaching the point where now he and his wife can retire and ride off into the sunset. But all of our instructors combine that great combination that very few people have of industry knowledge, of knowledge firsthand of what goes on when the line goes down and what the demands are from operators on the one hand and techs on the other hand, and management on the other hand, all breathing down your neck to get the line back up and running again and doing it safely. And so we got a great team of people that do that. And then they combine that hands-on experience in industry with the ability to convey the book knowledge and to get the knowledge that they have in their heads to your heads and to your hands. And that's a unique combination that isn't available in lots of teachers. And so we got the best group here, in my opinion. Josh Brett, Steve Corey, now retired, Jason Grimmy, Charles Martin, Leslie Rourke, James Schultz, Larry Tennant. I saw a lot of you guys greeting Larry out in the hallway, who I think was here in the first days when you got here, and I was able to come in during those first few days. And then, of course, we got our faculty speaker, Dan the Man Stanescu. Dan, come to stage.
Party time. We'll never not forget that, right? Party time and meeting time. Do they have that at the hangar? I thought I saw a picture of honorary pilot license, and a couple of you got your picture on the wall. 64, it's been a pleasure. I look out into the crowd, and I kind of feel like I'm looking at family every time I get up here and do this. It's definitely a walk that we go through, where we pick up with you pneumatics all the way through PLCs. Learning the language, speaking the language, going out in the lab and doing the language, putting all this to the ground and using it, okay? I've seen you all go through trials and come through them on the other side. No one gave up. And that's something that you need to hold your head high about. That is going to carry you far in this field. There are going to be days, we keep talking about the bear, right? You're going to know what I'm talking about one of these days when you're sitting there, it's you and the bear, and you're trying to fix something, and you got all the white collars around you. When's it going to be up? What's going on? Is it fixed yet? You're going to know what that bear is. And I have high confidence in this group that after you get through your apprenticeship, that first year, you pay attention to that senior that we keep talking about. Take those notes, pay attention, because remember what we talked about. They'll open up the kingdom to you, or they're going to close it shut. And that's your relationship as you're going through and you're becoming part of that team as you go into walk in maintenance, because this is just the beginning, right? This is just the beginning of this path that you're on in this new career. So you all have been very motivated. We heard Watkins talking about getting here and not knowing the person on the left and right, front and back of you. Man, how's this going to work? What's going to happen while we're here? Then you give it a couple days, get into some pressure with the text and material,
the gold lab, all of a sudden you start looking around and you start depending on some of the people to your left and right. You start knowing names, okay? Start knowing about them, what's going on at home, who's important to them, what's important to them. And you start through this path and you continue on. And that team mentality is something you've got to have in this field. Because you have to depend on the people that's on your team, on your shift, and they have to depend on you. So, the three things that I often talk about are motivation, teamwork, and integrity. The motivation, you guys, wherever you're at in the world, wherever you're at in life, you stop that. You put that on pause. So do your families. You put all that on pause, and you put everything on the line, and you came here to achieve a goal, right? So crossing over into the technical world, learn how to speak that language, read that language, figure it out and go on. You stay motivated through this whole thing. The teamwork, we talked about that. That has to continue on. Some of you have come here together and you're going to go back together. Some of you come here by yourself, been part of this team, and you're going to go back by yourself and become part of another team. That's never going to stop. One thing that I can assure you all is of change. Who you're working with, what you're working on, evolution of technology, right? We talked about that a lot. Where things were, the history of this stuff, where things are, what you're picking up now, and where things are going in the future. You never know what you're going to be working on in 5 years. So the learning doesn't stop here. It just is going to continue on. But it's not going to feel like you're learning, right? You're going to be on the job, new piece of equipment's going to come in, you're going to get on that thing and learn it and go. Integrity. Integrity. That's a huge thing. Everything that you go out and touch, we talked about this. You've heard me talk about this several times when it comes to the PLC, enforcing something, doing certain things, some of our procedures, troubleshooting, whatever. Integrity is where you're putting your name on what you work on. That's going to follow. Integrity is that if no one's around you, you do that PM correctly. You don't cut corners. You do that repair correctly. You do not cut corners. That is you. That is you in your work. Have integrity in everything you do. Keep that motivation and continue on with the teamwork. And the last thing, we talked about it, Dave brought it up, the continuing education. You're going to learn whether you want to or not. Technology is going to evolve. You got to keep up with it. Do you want to get into controls? Do you want to get into management? What is your goal? Figure out what your goal is now. Have that in front of you so you can chart your path to that goal. I have high faith in everybody in this room. I see everyone in here get challenged, stumble, dust themselves off, and keep coming back. And that's what this takes. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You have to learn from them and go on. If somebody tells you that they didn't make a mistake, go on. Okay? I'm very proud of everyone in here. You guys have done a fantastic job. You should be very proud of yourselves. Congratulations.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dan. Really appreciate that. Now we come to the formal part of this ceremony. Because of the fact that we're an accredited university, we take this part really seriously. You've come in here and you've done college level work. You've done it hard and fast and seriously. Today, all of you are picking up an 18 credit hour certificate of program completion in mechatronics and robotics. This is a legitimate piece of academic credential awarded by VU, and that's why we have you dressed in caps and gowns, because this is a real academic achievement. All of your credits are stackable to a degree, and so if you have other college credits previously, you got military service, other experiences that we can roll into it. If you even start with 18 credit hours, it's about 62 credit hours to get to an associate's degree. And then that associate's degree is also stackable to a bachelor's degree. And we built this program knowing how rigorous it was going to be and how it does stack up to the academics that we teach around this campus. A typical VU student comes here and takes anywhere between 12 and 15 credit hours a semester. And they do it over 16-week semesters. You just did 18 credit hours in 12 weeks. It's an amazing academic achievement. You really got to give yourself credit. And the reason why I emphasize this, you guys know how much work it was, but it's really important, I think, for us to convey to our guests that are here in person, for our guests that are on the line, and particularly leadership, how much actually goes in to this program. And it's hard to earn 12 credit hours in a 16-week semester, let alone 18 credit hours in a 12-week semester. So congratulations to y'all. What we're going to do is have everybody in the caps and gowns who are the candidates qualifying for the certificate of program completion, please stand. It is my privilege to certify that these candidates meet the necessary qualifications for the conferring of the certificate of program completion in mechatronics, robotics, and automation. The faculty has prepared the students to meet the requirements of Vincennes University to join me in recommending that the appropriate degrees be conferred. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Vincennes University Board of Trustees, I do hereby confer on you the certificates of program completion in mechatronics, robotics, and automation with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining. You may now turn your tassels from right to left. Congratulations, Cohort 64. The only other formal part we've got to do is hand out the certificates, which not only include the fact that you earned these 18 credit hours, but also 8 socket certifications. Brett's going to read your name. If you'll come over here, Jerry and I will hand out the certificates. For people here who want to take photos, come over and take photos when your graduate comes forward. And you've got plenty of time to take photos afterwards as well. So don't worry about that. And then if I can ask you all, after we've completed the ceremony, we can all assemble one more time in front of the banner for a group shot. Would really appreciate that. And like I said, Rochelle will put all those up on Chime here later today or tomorrow. Ready, Brett? Ready. All right.
Okay, Anthony Bosch. Robert Castillo. Cody Cook.
All right, Brody!
You got it. Don't worry. You got it. Congratulations.
Austin Finney. Zachary Fountain. Janine Garcia. Gregory Gomez.
Come, Greg. Sorry, Greg.
Max Martinez. Cody Deppy. Eric Ottinger.
Make sure we go in here. Yeah, got it? Okay, great. There we go.
Rita Padilla.
All right,
Rafael Martinez. Nancy Cross. Amy Steele. Pedro Valencia. Ryan Valenzuela Figueroa.
that's a reality trip. Good job.
All right, well, we got a few closing remarks from Brett. And then if you don't mind, like I said, we'll take a group shot over here in front of the banner. And with that, we'll be adjourned. And congratulations again, Cohort 64.
I won't say a lot. Lots been said. I hope you take it all apart. A lot of good things. And so, you know, what I would just like to leave you with is just my appreciation for you all here. You know, excellent group of people. You should all be very proud of yourself. I know what it takes to get through this program, and you all did it. And, you know, different levels of challenges, but you all overcame everything and got through it. And it's quite an accomplishment, it really is. And so I hope, we wish the best for you. You go back to your job sites and you got the right future. And the only last thing I have to say is, make sure you turn in your rib key before you leave.